How fast is too fast? What does it mean to ride the wind? A summer's storm in the mountains brings what to you? These are the signatures of the White Scars, which is today's show on Thursdays with Horus here on 5 Up Recovery. I am your host, Carter Reynolds. Grab yourself a beverage. I've got my coffee going. We're gonna do the show a little early just because tomorrow's Thanksgiving here in America. So, figured give everyone time for the holiday, and might not have time to record the show myself, so doing it a day early for everybody. We're going for the White Scars today. One of my personal favorites. I actually built a White Scars army like 2-3 years ago during 2nd edition. So it's going to be a labor of love, or they were a labor of love rather. So this is going to be a fun show. And what's on your hobby table? Comment if you want, or whatever you're feeling. Right now I'm still working on knights. I finished up the Knight Lancer, which came out looking pretty good. That is the Dark Beast Parl. And then I even busted out the Vicar Amelia as well. Don't have the base yet, but she is all set to go. I've got Knight Acheron. It's my last night, my last big night that I'm working on, and I actually signed up for a painting contest, and I didn't realize that it's only 4 days till the end of the month, but here we go. So I've got 4 days to build and paint a knight. Like, if I'm still working on it next week, I've failed. So hopefully, rock and roll. We'll see how it goes. So that's my hobby table. I'm working on the salamanders. Death Guard are pretty much done. Alpha Legion, I've taken a break from for now. But still got some stuff. Probably a quarter of that army still left to paint. Digging in for the cold winter here. Actually got my last priming in done yesterday before the winter shutter came down. But let's get into the White Scars. White Scars, Jagged Eye Khan, one of the most unique and interesting legions by far. They have a very spiritual, rooted in the earth kind of vibes. They're all about the storm, lightning, the wind, weather. Their storm seers don't connect with the warp in the normal way that most psychers do. They have a much more organic connection with these powers. It's almost like, if you were compared, it's almost like druidic earth magic from D&D more than an arcane that you would see with the warp. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. I believe that they were one of the few legions that were allowed to continue practicing their craft even after the Council of Nicaea, or they just did it because they wanted to, because they did whatever they want. The White Scars were known kind of doing whatever they wanted when they wanted to. They were known as irascible, just impossible to pin down. Speed is their jam. They were working on their ships. Their ships are upgraded. Their jet bikes are upgraded. Their jump packs are upgraded. This all comes out in the rules where they get +2 movement across the board, which is just phenomenal. When we get into their kit, that's just, that's so good. It used to be +1, now it's +2. It's just fantastic. They're always souping up their equipment, their gear. They use power glaives, a lot of power weapons, and power glaives especially. An interesting, and definitely they lean into the Eastern Asia, Mongolia, kind of traditional vibes. That's kind of what they've always shown off from Chogris, which is kind of like a whole planet that's similar to Mongolia in climate. They're known for their even before being Astartes, they were known for their Horus craft and their incredible steel. The swords and the weapons that come from Chogris, even the ones that aren't before their power weapons, are some of the, if not the greatest steel in the entire Imperium. A bunch of really good books for the White Scars. They are one of the golden trio, the three that were defending Terra. So the Siege of Terra, they're all over the place. And there's a lot going on with them during the heresy itself, because Horus kind of set them on this almost impossible task of clearing out all these orcs, and then also had the Alpha Legion go and just be, you know, like in the shadows, unbeknownst to the White Scars, just messing up their campaign. You know, spycraft, assassinations, all sorts of Alpha Legion stuff against the White Scars. And I love the Alpha Legion, so there's you know, just some cool interactions there. The book I'm specifically talking about right now is Scars by Chris Raitt. Chris Raitt did all of the White Scars books that I know of, and just like talk about, had no idea who he was before I read Scars, and I just wanted to read every other book that he wrote after that. Phenomenal writer. Really good characters. That's like his characters are extremely in-depth and human. You really can vibe with them. But Scars is great. It's about the beginning of the heresy, with following the White Scars, of course. Horus's early treachery with the Alpha Legion attacking them, and kind of their first run-in with the Death Guard, and kind of setting up the Death Guard as their ultimate enemy, which of course is like, you know, like speed, quickness, versus, you know, irresolute defense. Like really good, you know, polar opposites going against each other. The Death Guard and the White Scars have a really nice competition as well. And I played Death Guard as well, so it's great. Chris Raitt continued with Path to Heaven, which I have not read, but my buddy Rob the Black Library sings high praise of. And then most recently in the Siege of Terra, Warhawk specifically is about the culmination of that White Scars versus Death Guard, and it's an excellent book, top to bottom. Every Siege book is, you know, fantastic in my opinion, and that one is in the top tier of those. That's high accolades for sure. But let's jump in. Let's go into the White Scars kit. I've got a list made. I got a hero, and I named him this time as well. Armory, the Power Glaive, fantastic. It is a power axe that strikes at initiative. So you got +1 strength, breaching 5 up on an AP3 weapon. And then it also has impact AP, yeah. So on the charge, you're getting that AP2. And then once you're in, you know, locked in combat for the next rounds, or if you get charged, you still have breaching 5 up. Fantastic weapon. It's a little pricey at +10 points on top of a power weapon, and it can only go to command. Can't go to champions, can't go to sergeants. It can only go to your command units. So it's definitely for your elites. And then there's one unit that actually gets them, which is a fantastic unit, the Eben Keshe, and we'll get into them. They also get the Cyberhawk, really nice 10-point upgrade on a hero, and he gives move through cover to the entire unit. Just, we're moving quick, we're ignoring cover, we're ignoring terrain, dangerous terrain, difficult terrain, like fantastic. For 10 points, you can really amp the movement and threat reach of a couple of units in your army. Finally, and that's only, like I said, 10 points. Finally, the prime upgrade they have is really nice. It's for any infantry or cavalry. So it's not just for troops, it's not just for your tacticals. This is any infantry, any cavalry. They get expendable 2. This is the Sagyar Mazon. In Scars, there were those that almost turned to Horus, you know, through the lodges that were there. Hibu Khan, I believe, was the guy leading it, the main one. And, you know, they got, you know, found out, realized the error of their ways, and the Khan gave them this, you know, marking, the Sagyar Mazon, and they pretty much had to go die in battle. Like they could only retrieve their honor if they were to die fighting for it, which I thought was really cool. So expendable 2, you know, -2 points for a kill point on these guys just totally makes sense. A really fun one. It's cool. I popped it in a couple of units. The Legion Tactical I already talked about, +2 movement, phenomenal. There's not a single unit that's not good on. Like, it's just an absolute boost. It is enough of a boost that it actually will push Space Marines, regular Space Marines, into a higher setup move. And I believe it's going to push your Assault Marines. Your Assault Marines are 14 inches with a 4-inch initiative. So that's 18 normally, but plus 2 puts them at 20, which gives them the 6-up, the vaulted 6-up setup move. So seems good. It's a good one. Their gambit is really cool. You guess strike high or strike low when you roll your focus die. Strike low is 1 to 3 unmodified. Strike high is 4 to 6 unmodified. And if you correctly guess what you're going to roll, then you get no negative modifier to your bonus. So, you know, good reason to push power fists, push thunder hammers, things with negative, you know, those big minuses to your initiative. If you guess right, you're not going to have it. You're just going to have that bonus from your initiative and whatever other ones you can drum up there. And yeah, I'm going to guess strike low every time for myself. I know how I roll. It's not well. I build a decent list. I play a decent game. I do not roll dice well, so I would, you know, strike last every time. The detachment they get, the Chagorian Warband, is fantastic. You get 2 fast attack that can only be used to take scimitar jet bikes, which are fantastic and a really good vehicle for your, or a really good platform, you know, for your heavy weapons. And then they also, for the other side, you can only take 2 recon, but they have to be outriders, which are the bikes. Bikes got a massive update in this edition with 2 wounds and Firestorm. Firestorm meaning you can drive in the charge phase, you can set up move, fire off all your guns, and then not charge. So you just get 2 and full ballistic skill on the volley fire. So you pretty much get 2 full shooting actions on your turn. Really good unit. And then you get a prime slot on one of the fast attacks. So one of your jet bikes is going to be prime. Sweet. The advanced reaction is not once per game. It's 100% every single turn. You know, you can use this, just costing a reaction point. And it's when someone moves within range of you, instead of doing the initiative move, you do a full move. Really good on your movement 9 units. You know what I mean? Really good on your movement 16 jump packs. Like, you can just get off objectives, get back into transports, get wherever you need to go. You have a lot more room to touch and places that you can move with a full move on their turn. Yeah, the kit of the White Scar seems great. I wish I had not sold mine because they look really fun to play this edition. But that's my jam. Is I paint up a full army, I use it for about a year or 2, and then on to the next projects, you know. Continuing with their kit, they have 3 really good unique units that all would be great to steal for the Alpha Legion. I'm not going to lie. First and foremost, though, they have a Storm Seer, which is a special command unit. They are a Psyker that can take Storm Calling, Divination, Thaumaturgy, and Telepathy. They're built in with the Force Staff, but still, you know, they got that Willpower 10, pretty good mental stats there, Leadership 8, Cool 7. So, you know, not much better than a Sergeant, but then that Willpower 10 really carries it over. Storm Calling is fantastic. It is their specific, you know, school of warpery. And the Storm Calling, it first of all gives you move through cover. Once again, there's move through cover built in for a unit. Fantastic. The Unseen Bolt is a blast 5, pinning 2, or excuse me, stun 2, force range strength blast pie plate. That's 4 strength and can go up to 8 strength. AP 4 isn't going to do anything, but you know, damage 1, you want to throw this on tactical marines, you want to throw this on units that you do not want scoring objectives or reacting. And then finally, the Call of the Wind lets you do a full rush and only count as a move. So you try and pull it off, you get your willpower check, and then instead of move it, you would fully rush your unit, but it just counts as a move. So they still get to fire their weapons, still get to charge. Great stuff. Just, you know, everything is about movement. Movement is key in every single war game I've ever played, and the White Scars are just going to be rolling movement. They're going to be all over the place. Onto their 3 specialty units, and then we'll get into the list. The Golden Keshig are special speeders. They are just crazy crucial. They have weapon skill 5, 2 wounds, 3 attacks built in. They come with the Kantos Power Spear, which can only ever do 1 attack, but it's plus 4 to your initiative, plus 5 to your strength, AP 3, 2 damage with impact AP and armor bane. So on the charge, you're going to be doing AP 2. you know, you're going to be strength 9, so you're going to be, you know, you're hitting like a las cannon with these guys if you go against a tank or a knight. And then they have power swords as well. So once you get stuck in, you can either use your 3 attacks or your power sword, or you can keep going. Like the Kanto's power spear only ever gets 1 attack, but it's still fantastic, even, you know, after the AP2 on the charge. Just a great unit. Oh, and it's got a scatterbolt launcher, which is a template, essentially a chain template weapon. Range strength 5 template with pinning 1. There's the pinning 1 and shred 2, or shred 6 up. So you know, it's going to be doing some extra damage. Going to be pinning units. Just a great unit, top to bottom. Would take every time. The Eben Keshig, or the next one, once again, top unit. They are Terminators, elite Terminators in Tartaros armor. They do only have weapon skill 4, but they have 3 attacks. Toughness, well, everyone's got toughness 5. 10 leadership, 9 across the board on cool, willpower, and intelligence. So, you know, I actually threw my librarian with these guys because they've got better leadership and cool, and he's got the great willpower, so just synergizes perfectly. They've all got power glaives, like I was saying, with that +1 strength, you know, AP3, impact AP, and breaching, so just tons of ways to get AP2 on that unit. And they have Vanguard 3, fantastic, Feel No Pain 6 up, and Expendable 2 built in. So they'll -2 points that they're giving up on Vanguard or you know, first strike, and they have a Feel No Pain as Terminators. Just a fantastic unit. Let's do it. Finally, the Kazakhstan Assault Speeder. You know, it is a land speeder with a Karis assault cannon and 2 Reaper autocannons. That's a lot of DACA. That's a lot of DACA with a lot of breaching. I'd say, you know, for 105 points, it's got bulky 5, firing protocols 3, so it can shoot all of its weapons. Deep strike. It's cavalry, so it can't score objectives. Doesn't have Vanguard or anything like that, but just talk about a really good harassment unit that can just get up there. It's speed 14, which goes up to 16 because of your Legion trait. And just a great little gun platform. Let's go into the list itself. I did not take a Kazakhstan speeder, but I did take the other 2 units. I thought they were fantastic. First and foremost, though, we're going to go into the Crusade detachment. We'll break it down. We'll go through the characters because that's the fun part. Then I'll go through the rest of the, I'll go through my detachment decisions after that and what I put into them. First and foremost, I took a mounted Praetor. You know, it's from Legends, but I love this game. I love the kit bash. I love Legends. Especially, you know, so many units from last edition that we had are now gone, but they're not gone because they're in Legends. There's 2 full army lists in Legends. Like, it's just, I'm gonna start making lists with them. You know, I'm not gonna go overboard, but you know, you gotta have a mounted Praetor. You just have to. That's the coolest kit bash. The jet bikes look so good. You know, you can really go in. I think I found like third-party katanas for my guys when I made them. I had one doing I had my mounted Praetor doing the Akira slide. Like, it was cool. Next up is my Legion Centurion. Gave him a jetpack, gave him the Cyberhawk, so that jetpack unit can move through cover just fine. Gave him a Power Fist. You know, I went, instead of going for the Power Glaive for this guy, I went with the Power Fist because A, I love them. B, really good in the challenge with that focus roll. No negative modifiers to your focus roll jam if you can pull it off. And this guy I named Rambusan Tark. He is a veteran from many a campaign, and he's kind of like an ancient, you know, ancient almost in a dreadnought style guy. He's been around for like, you know, like 500, 600, 700 years. Been through the Great Crusade since the beginning. One of the first White Scars Prime. That's my jam for him. Rambusan Tark. I also took a Storm Seer because they're so crazy cool. And then I took a Legion Champion as well. And you know, White Scars are known for their blade craft. They're known for their weapons. I thought that like a champion, you know, someone like the pinnacle of a warrior for them would be cool. I did, however, give the prime slot to my Centurion, gave him Paragon of Battle because I like spreading out that weapon skill 6. And yes, weapon skill 6 and a Power Fist, my favorite. For the troops choices in this Crusade detachment, I took 2 squads of tacticals with Voxes. cut and dry. They're going to score objectives. They're running around, sitting on objectives. That's their jam. And then I took a 15-man assault squad. Jump packs, got to. It's the White Scars. I took 3 power lances in there, and then everyone took combat shields, and of course I took a power fist on the sergeant, and then 2 rhinos for those tactical squads. Everything moves fast. Everything's either in a transport, jump pack, or on a bike of some sort in this list, or as Tartaros Terminators, which are just quick. Moving up, I took the Apex Armory Vanguard. The Golden Keshig were elites, and I really wanted those in my army with having to go for the Log Benny. So I've got 6 Golden Keshig. It's not even that pricey at $270 for how powerful they are. 6 las cannons on the charge. 18 power sword attacks after that, like weapon skill 5, good platform for it, good guns. And then I took a 10-man veteran assault squad. This goes with Rambusan Tark. 3 of them have power fists. 3 of them have dual lightning claws, power fist on the sergeant, and then I took 3 chain swords as just filler. Not filler, but your first ablative wounds, they go away, just to catch some fire on the trek across the board. Because I don't think, honestly, I would deep strike my assault squads. You can't charge out a deep strike. So I'd rather just start hidden and then move to where I need to go. Next up, I took the auxiliary Chagorian warband, and I filled it up. I was going as full board as I could into the fast attack slots and the outriders. But I will say this: the way that the bikes were written for this edition seems like they're going to become plastic. They are really good. Huge upgrade is what they used to be. And they're really cool. They're like Tron looking bikes. They're sweet. I really like their design. They're really, nimble looking and quick. And you can throw 2 plasma guns on them. Sold. So I took 2 packs of 6 scimitar bikes. 6 of them, the first block have multi-meltas. The second block have Volkite culverins. One's for taking out vehicles. One's for taking out shredding troops. These guys I actually might deep strike. You gotta wait till turn 2 or turn 3 to pull those multi-meltas in, but a deep strike of multi-meltas seems pretty good. But also they're fast enough that you might be able to get really good angles on turn 1 so you got a lot of options for these guys. Then I took 2 squads of 6 outriders. The first squad, all plasma guns. And the second, actually both squads, all plasma guns. So 6 full double plasma guns on both teams. They're going to be firing those plasma guns twice a turn. Double plasma guns get breaching 5 up, and if you overcharge them, they get breaching 4 up. So you can reliably fire plasma with them twice per turn without even having to overload. Or if you really want to wipe out some Terminators or something, you could pop that overload for the breaching 4 up. Last thing I did is I took a shock assault detachment. I keep having spare detachments because I take so many characters, but that's okay. These are dream lists, you know what I mean. 10 Ebon Keshig. They can't take any upgrades or any changes. They don't even have a commander unit because they're kind of like just Darren in that. They're all like leadership 10, web skill 9. They are there to die. With that 6 up, feel no pain, and expendable 2. Prime slots, I gave the Golden Keshig Master Sergeant. I gave Sagar Maison to one of the Scimitar bike squads, and I gave Sagar Maison to the big 15 block of assault squads. Yeah, plugged away there. And that's the list, I'm going to post it below. So, if you like it, comment or shoot your ideas, criticisms, if any of you are White Scar players out there that have your armies, or if you've got my army out there and are watching the show, that'd be pretty cool. This one's for you, buddy. But yeah, I love feedback. Whatever you can do. If you want to like and subscribe, please do. If that's not your jam, no worries. And I'm going to have one coming up for the holidays, one shameless plug. I am also a writer besides a Warhammer and Warhammer player and content creator. My book's Candlelighter, my first novel, is out on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or if you message me, I can give you signed copies. So pretty cool first edition signed copy, perhaps get on the ground floor or something big. But it's a noir story of a young girl that witnesses a murder and is chased through the city by the killers. You know, it's hard-boiled fantasy, so it's swords and sorcery with wizards and all sorts of high magic and that kind of stuff. But it is a crime story. Follows just a few destitute characters through it. I also have 2 short stories, Mutton and Rough Landing. If you search my name on Amazon, you should be able to find them. And like I said, if you want to message me, Instagram is Carter Reynolds Writer Man. You know, your friendly neighborhood writer man. Carter Reynolds Writer Man, all one word. You can direct message me through Instagram, and I can get you a signed copy if that's your jam. But whatever the case, happy holidays coming up. Happy wargaming. Hopefully you all roll 6s out there. This has been 5 Up Recovery, and have a fantastic day.